We encountered a very bad situation with OFM right now. Yeah, these last days, because our accounts were kind of banned. Yeah, because Instagram found like a new trick. It's not a new trick because TikTok been using it for a while already, but basically to ban links in our profiles. Yeah, the beacons link, the link me link, the get all my link, whatever deep link you're using at your IG account, they are not directly actually, yes, they do ban some accounts, like directly shut the account down, but normally they just stop recommending it. Yeah, you just go to account status, and your account cannot be recommended. You go there, and you see why it's not being recommended, and they literally ask you to change your bio. You cannot understand what's wrong with my bio, but what's wrong with your bio is just your link. They basically started tracking our deep links the same way TikTok been tracking our deep links before. Yeah, if you remember how this OFM industry started, everything started with fucking TikTok. TikTok was the main source of our traffic. Then at some point they started banning. First of all, they started buying direct links to OF. Then they started buying the deep links, which most of us cannot understand how they do this. How can they track everything? They have everything tracked. Come on, they have big teams, bigger teams than you and me, and they are literally fighting against all this sexual content. So it's okay. It's normal. The thing is, once they did that, we just reconverted our funnels. Yeah, from TikTok, now the main traffic source is normally Instagram for every agency if you're using social media for traffic. But what we did was basically to make our funnel longer. Yeah, give it an extra step. Yeah, instead of just doing TikTok, then deep link, then OnlyFans, now we do TikTok, then Instagram, then deep link, then OnlyFans. So what can we do now if Instagram does the same, which was already kind of late? It is kind of late because for me they've been delaying this for a while. Yeah, because if they really want to fight against sexual content, against OnlyFans influence, whatever else, they just have to do it before. Yeah. So now, what can we do about it? What am I doing in my agency? What are the alternatives? Yeah, for this new Instagram update. Actually, they've been like fighting with that. They've been already trying some shit because, for example, I was using beacons.io. Then they started banning all the beacons account, and I started doing link me. Link me, for example, is the one that Sophie Reigns use, all the big creators use. So and they actually keep using it, which shows me that their agency are not that good. Yeah, they are still using it after it's already been 1 week since the update. The main update is basically that there are extra step inside the link me. It's quite more difficult to get to the OnlyFans account. For you to understand what's a deep link, basically the deep link is when you press the link inside the Instagram profile, you get into the browser, but it's like Instagram in Instagram browser, inside the app browser. The deep link lets you basically abandon the Instagram, like it redirects you outside Instagram. It opens you Safari or whatever you're using on your phone, Google, whatever. Yeah. So, what can we do with Instagram now banning the deep links? There are multiple choices we can use. For example, I will show you one. It's easy. Just extra step in your funnel. I know it sounds bad. Extra step in your funnel means less people will get to your OnlyFans account. But from the other perspective, if you look at it from other perspective, for example, if 100 people, 100 fans were subscribing to my OnlyFans model daily from my short funnel, my IG deep link OnlyFans, 100 people were subscribing and they were spending average 30 euros per day, which should be like a good average, then 3,000 euros per day would be my net income, yeah, daily. But you have to understand how fans and how people work. The more steps you do before getting to your product, and if you are willing to do all those steps, the more you're willing to spend because you're more invested. It works with every business the same. The more steps you do, the more invested you get, and the more money you're willing to spend. So, what we can do now is basically give that extra step. Yeah, instead of having 100 fans, now we will have extra step. Most of you know already this funnel, and it's basically making Telegram part of your funnel. Yeah, so the new funnel will be Instagram, deep link that goes to Telegram, a private Telegram group without any VIP Telegram or sex Telegram, nothing sexual. Come on, people are not stupid. Private, normal Telegram channel, and then from Telegram you redirect people to OnlyFans. You basically, yeah, you are doing an extra step. You will probably lose like 40% of your traffic or 50% of your traffic, but you have to understand that extra step makes that fan more invested into your model. Another good thing about it is, for example, I like Telegram for because for me it works the same as for every other business works. For example, the email list, yeah, because yeah, you are accumulating fans in your Instagram account, yeah, on your social media accounts, but you have to understand that one thing: if you have 100K followers on Instagram, when you post a story, normally 4K, 3K people will watch that story. So only 3% of the people are actually engaged into your content. If you have 100K followers on Telegram, an active Telegram account, and you post something, 30 to 40K people will see that post. Why? Because Telegram sends a message. It literally works like a WhatsApp group, you know, most of the times, if they don't have silence your Telegram. So it basically accumulates funds there. Even if they didn't subscribe to your OnlyFans account, if they got to your Telegram, they are there. And if you know how to use them to properly warm up your Telegram audience, you will get lots of that followers to follow your OnlyFans account. And actually, those OnlyFans fans that go from Telegram after being warmed up for a while will be the big spenders, the big whales. Because you have to understand, the more they are connected, the more they are invested into your model, the more they are willing to spend on your model. So yeah, you're adding an extra step, but actually, in terms of money, I haven't done the calculus on that, but in terms of money, you're probably not losing that much, or maybe even winning. But in terms of having your accounts protected and stuff like that, you don't want to be like all the time thinking, "Oh, Instagram new update, TikTok new update." No, that's a way to not think about that, all the time. Another way of doing it, that's like first way. Another way of doing it, giving two deep links, like using two deep links in a row. For example, you have your first deep link that it's link.me, and that link redirects to another deep link, which is, for example, beacons.com. Yeah. And that beacons redirect you to your OnlyFans. Okay. It's again another extra step, but it's an easier step. It's just redirect and to OnlyFans. Like that easy. Yeah. Very simple. Also, kind of suspicious, kind of sus for Instagram. I think they will start banning all that accounts also, because it's not that difficult to basically press and you end up on OnlyFans. You end up at the same shit, basically giving another step. I don't like that step personally, but you can use it. Another way of doing it is having your account, your like on your main account, main Instagram account, having tagged in your description a little account which will have your link me or whatever deep link you're using. Yeah, that way you basically are redirecting traffic to your small account. You're not putting any risk on your main account, and that's another way of doing it. Problems with that method, most of the times, or not most of the time, many times, Instagram starts shadow banning links on your profile, and you're not even able to see that they shadow banned your link. That's a big problem, because you will see your link on your small account, but 90% of the people won't, and you will never understand what the fuck is happening with my traffic. So not a good way for me either. Last main thing you can do is basically not using a link in bio, but being very active in stories and using CTAs, everyday CTAs. I actually think that's the best way. CTAs plus the Telegram. I would combine that too. Like if I were you, I would combine that too. I would have my link in bio that goes to Telegram, like extra step in my funnel to Telegram, to some group that you cannot see that it's sexual, like a private group. Then you will redirect that fans to your OnlyFans. And the other one is a CTA that basically you post your link, your beacons or your link me I actually haven't been banned because of posting that links on my stories yet, at least. And I think people is not being banned because of that. So you can still use that, and you have to understand that okay, you're not using a straight up link in bio to your OnlyFans, but that people that enter through your stories, through your CTAs, are usually again much more invested because they've been like literally consuming all your content. They've been consuming your stories. They've been consuming you daily. So it's not like when you think about link in bio, what do you think? A person just followed you, got into your profile, they are horny as fuck, and they just pressed your OnlyFans, but they are not invested in you. They are not willing to spend €1,000 on you. But the more they are invested, the more content they consumed, the more they are willing to spend. So I prefer, for example, sometimes to sacrifice 10 fans for one whale. Yeah, I think that's the way to do it, and that's the way good agencies actually operate. Of course, the good agencies actually operate with big fans, and also most of that fans are whales, so you have to combine everything. But if you have to choose, I would prefer the person to be more invested into my OnlyFans model. Okay, I'm basically taking a bigger risk because less fans are entering into my OnlyFans and whatever, but that fans are more invested. So now that I gave it a thought, I will give you the perfect combination. The perfect combination is combining those both. First one is having a link in bio that goes straight up to your Telegram VIP account or channel, whatever. You warm up people on your Telegram channel, and you get that people to OnlyFans. That way, that people is invested. You also are accumulating fans there that are quite active. Be very careful with your Telegram. And the second thing is daily CTA. You have to be active in stories, daily linking stories, redirecting to your beacons, your link me, whatever link you were using, and straight up to OnlyFans. That's the best combination. So I will see you in the next video.